All right, this is going to be a tutorial on how to create a parts list and the animation to do an explosion. So we're going to start with this right here. This is the presentation .ipn. So we open that up. You then need to find this is my assembled cube. That's what we're going to be working with. So I click open, and this is my IPN. I'm going to close this because this is just some instructions. So first we're going to do our explosion. Here's a little timeline of our video. Tweak components. So follow along here. If I click tweak components and then I click on a surface, I get these little arrows. If I click the one I want to move, I can click that and drag it and move it out some distance. Then I can click on this one and the direction I want it to go that way. And this one, and drag it out this way. Is that right? Yeah, that's what I wanted. That one. And then rotate over. And let's get this one out a ways. That's pretty good. And so now I can just click on my check mark. And now that's done. And you can watch, it'll take about 10 seconds, this apparently. And you can click it. Shows it going back. Like that. Okay, or you can run it from this way. When you do this, you want to try to make sure that the parts don't pass through each other. Like if I had taken this red part and moved it this way, then it would have had to pass through something. If I go back. If I had taken this red part, there's a thing sticking down, it would have passed through this. So try to make it so that it's like in real life, they don't occupy the same space at the same time. Okay, so I've got this all done. And now I can do, that's my animation. In fact, we'll just finish this up. I can click on video and I can never remember all this, but we're just going to go with this for right now and go with that. I'm going to call it puzzle 1, and I'm saving it to it's saving. You can click this if it's not saving where you want it to. This is going to save to my desktop so I can find it. There is, I think if I go smaller, it plays better. Let's try this. So now if I click OK, while it's recording, don't open any other windows. If you open other windows, they'll show up in the recording. Like if you switch to PowerPoint for a second to do something while it's doing this, you have to sit and wait while it crunches through this video. And then when it's done, that would be puzzle 1. I double click on it. Let's see how it works. That was just for the software program. Not bad. And see, by doing that smaller one, I have a smaller picture here instead of, and that's where my puzzle is. If I filled up the whole screen with my animation, then I might have done it the other way. So there's your animation. This is a .wmv, Windows Media. You can show this to anybody. That's why these are really nice, because you can show them to anyone. You don't have to have Inventor or anything like that. All right, so now we've got that. Now we want to do our parts list. This is the view I'm going to use for my parts list. So I'm going to click on this snapshot view. And what that does, maybe this is new, so I'm going to click that. And okay, they got all kinds of new stuff going on here. It used to just show up. So we'll see if that worked. But you can see that if I watch, I'll rotate to another side like that and down and do another snapshot, and it should show up there. We'll find out. So now we're going to, we're going to go back to home. Actually, no, we should be able to do it from the animation. Let's see. Right here. Sorry, click this button right here. Create drawing view. It says I got to save it. Okay, I'll save it. Puzzle animation 1. Click save. Now it's going to let me pick. Now this is the one we want to use, the NSB Multiview. I'm going to do a separate video on how to make sure this is in your computer. But you click on this and click OK, because that gives me a place where now I type in my name. Here, period, click OK. And now it brings in that picture. It actually, you can see, here's my two views. Those are two different ones. I like view one better. So I get that. Here's where I can change my scale. 1:1 actually looks like it will fit, so we're going to do that. I'm going to click on this one to color it, and then I click OK. Now I can come to this red line and I can move it around. So I'm going to move it pretty far over and kind of up, so that, because I'm going to have a parts list down here. All right, so next I need to do balloons. I click the Annotate tab. It's where your dimension command is also. And I will do balloon. I click on the edge of one of my parts. This will come up. I click OK. Now, I have to left click, then right click, then click Continue. Get it when it's red. Left click, right click, Continue with my mouse. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. You can't see it, but that's what I'm doing. Left click, right click, Continue. Let me get all these down here. So now I've got all of those. I've got all my balloons. So now I need a parts list. Click on parts list. All right. This is grayed out. I can't click OK. But once I click on this one time, click inside of this one time, now I can click OK. Here's my parts list, big old guy. We're going to make it a little better. So I don't have a description. Description is basically the color. So I'm going to, when it's red, I'm going to right click, edit parts list. I click this top left button. That's my column chooser. I click that, click description, remove it, OK, and OK. So now it's much smaller. Still in the way of my puzzle cube. I may have to go back and edit that. But these are the names of my parts. So if you named it my big gazinga massive pretty part, then what you have to do is edit parts list and go in here and type fix that, and blue part, just so you can see what it does. If I change that, it changes it here. So this should be the part number should be a description of it. Here's my file. Here's my name. I'm going to, just so I can show you, I'm going to edit view, and I'm going to drop it down to like 0.75. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's a little, we'll just do it, just so that you can see how you can do all that. So now I can fit this in here. I could have made it a little bigger, but that's how you do. That is now a finished parts list. So I've shown you the parts list and the animation. And so there you go. I'm going to stop there.